this video is all about how to recycle a gift bag. This gift bag, as you can see, it's all kind of torn up and all wrinkled, but there's still uses for it. And I'm just going to go through what there is and how I'm going to recycle this. First things first, I'm going to recycle this ribbon because there's ribbon for the handle and there's a little card on there. So that could be used as an embellishment, and I can certainly use the ribbon. So there's that. All right. The next thing, is there a ribbon on the other side? Yes, there is. So I'm going to take that ribbon off, and I'm going to save that ribbon. So there you go, 2 ribbons. Okay, now the next thing is, since this is so big, I think what I'll do is I'm just going to cut down the front here, cut this front panel off, because I want to save these animals and recycle those, because those can be used as ephemera on cards. Alright, so now I have this front piece cut off, and there's some cardboard liner in there, so kind of flimsy, but still good enough to put ephemera on and make it thicker. Alrighty, let's tear up this bottom piece. There's some red paper we can use. Let's see. And that strip is ready. Yep, there's another animal. And there's some blue paper. More little bit of cardboard. More cardboard up on the top. Cardboard strips can always be used as tags, or to strengthen tags at least. Alrighty, so let's pull this off. It's coming off already. There. And I apologize if I'm making you dizzy by maneuvering this stuff around, but it's just so big to maneuver around right now, so I'm trying to cut it down to manageable pieces. This is wonderful. Got the whole seam. That's funny. And even with the holes and rips and stuff, that's okay. We can play around with those. Just work around them. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Let's just cut this strip off the side over here. Alright, so this stuff is going to be thrown away. Now, this is going to be, I'm going to cut out this barn because that can be used as ephemera. So there's one good piece. This cow can be used as ephemera. Alrighty, this pig can be used even with the tear. That can still be used. This cow and possibly the clouds. Let's see what we can do with that. Some more green. The sheep. And this silly little chicken down here. There you go. Alright, so that's wonderful. Alright, so these, the first thing I'm going to do with those is I'm going to stick them through the crimper because they're all mushed up anyways. So to make them look nice again, I just shoot things through the crimper. And that tends to help straighten things out for it, because once you crimp it, it's a lot easier to re-flatten it out. So that's my first step, is shoot it all through the crimper. cut this out some more. There, stick that through the crimper. I really love my crimper. I crimp so many different things to save things, because when I'm writing a letter or a piece of paper, or the kids have drawn on something and they crimple it up and they're getting ready to throw it away, and then I'm like, no, 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 save that. I can use the back side, or I can use the front side that they've drawn on or something. So, because sometimes I'll save their images. So, all right, so there's those things. So we've got those. We've got this little tag that we can use. We've got 2 ribbons we can use. All right, on the other side there was another cow here. So we can cut this one out. We can put this one through the crimper. All right, there's not much left on here, but we can use the scraps. All right, I'm looking through my pile now. Is there anything else? Nope, nope, nope. Oops, yep. Okay, this last bigger piece, and this has 4 animals on it, which is perfect. So let's cut these out. Okay, all the excess can go thrown over there. And there you go. Extra, these need to be crimped. This needs to be crimped. All right, so then we can crimp this. And my family's fun, because they all know that I love to save tissue paper and wrapping paper and gift bags, bows. I recycle just about anything that can be recycled. So when it comes to gift wrapping, so because you can always recycle stuff. So look at all of these images that we can use off of this one bag. And see how that flattened that all out? It's still corrugated, it's still crimped, but it did smooth it out. So it's a lot more pleasing to look at now. And then once we glue it down and play around with it, then that's going to make some nice ephemera for cards. All right, so now the rest of it. So let's move this pile out of the way. And we've got these scraps. So what I'm going to do with these is shoot them through the crimper, because it's easier for me to deal with them when they're crimped, because then we can punch images out. We can cut these into different shapes. We can die cut them. Sometimes I just save them just like this, because sometimes I just want some of the shiny paper to be used. And they're just different pieces. This is all grassy look, so I could just save these pieces for grass. Just cut strips out of it and layer them onto cards. And it doesn't take very long to do this, as you can see. Just takes a couple of minutes. Sometimes bags have words on them that you can recycle the words. And if it's too big, then you can always cut them apart and use them in sections instead, which is kind of nice. This does have part of the barn and the silo. You know what? I'm thinking maybe if I just cut it this way, if I could crimp that and make it look all right, maybe for a card front. I'm going to try it. We shall see if it's doable, because once you crimp it, it's easier to deal with. So I could actually trim this down, or trim it here. I could definitely use the hill. All right, I'm liking that. I think I'm going to save that. And yep, and I just tore that even some more, but that's okay. I'm still going to run it through the crimper, because you never know. I might need just that one extra piece when I'm playing around with this stuff. And this is a nice big piece. Shot through. I can hit the edge. Yep, I need to move it down some more. Alright, that's a nice big piece. Even with the holes poked through, you can always cover the holes up by putting an image over it. Alright, let's put this in there. I know some of you are looking at this going, it's just trash, it's just garbage, and it is. But I'm a crafty person, and I like to use as much as I possibly can, and when I can recycle stuff like this, it saves it from the landfills, at least for a while. So if we can repurpose it in another way, then why not? And I know a lot of people, when others send me cards, then I save them. And when I send out cards, a lot of the people that I send them to, then I'm told that they saved them, and I've actually seen them later on, which is kind of fun because they like to share later and say, look how many cards I've had that you've made me over the years. So that's a lot of fun to see that. And that feels really good. Oops, I'll put that plastic bit in there. Okay, at the top of the bag. That didn't print very good because of that funny hanging piece, but that's okay. All right, these, I wonder what that would look like crimped. That's real chintzy cardboard. Oh, that looks kind of neat. Huh. Kind of an interesting texture. Alrighty, that's interesting. And then this is that other piece of cardboard. That one's fine by itself. Whoops, one, two more pieces. So we've got this. And the very bottom. I'm looking at that going, all right, what is here? Could actually cut a couple strips. Let's tear this apart and see how easy it comes apart. Oh, it does, okay. Oh my, that's easy, alrighty. Alright, so we've got a lot of red here and this bit of green. So I always need green, especially grassy green. That's neat. And this red, we can just pick it all the way through here. Come on, let's go on through. Slippery little sucker. Doesn't want to go in there. Come on, go. There you go. That's a long piece. Okay. And this piece. There. Now, that's a lot of crimping. Okay, so we've got that. See, this is all good for layering, so it just depends on how I'm going to end up using it, which is nice. Oh, that was a separate piece anyways. All right, good. That was that cardboard piece. So very good. So now I've got all these. I really like that green, and this blue is a gorgeous color. That's fun, and I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this because I know I'm going to use that green for grass. And this blue is going to be used for something different. Oh, I missed crimping that piece. All right, so the rest of this is all crimped, it looks like. Perfect. All right, so I just have to do this piece. It's easier to do it on a straight line, so let's trim it off, throw this away. And one last piece to go through the crimper. So now you can see how many. We've got a lot of scraps to use, and I can use these in my scrapbooks or in my journals or my glue books. That's a lot of different colors. So there's a lot of uses that we can use this stuff for. And when I'm using it, I'll be making videos, I'm sure. But this is mostly just scrap stuff that I can play around with and keep it with my other scraps. So I've got a pile of scraps and a pile of things that I can use. Actually, I think I do want to trim this down to use as a card front. Let's do that now, because that's pretty cool looking. Let's see how long this is too. Up there. I'll bar over like that. I do like that. The rest of that barn. All right, you know what? I'm going to save this because I could probably end up using that on a card, so that's good. And these I'm just going to fussy cut out. So, and fussy cutting will be another video because somebody's asked me recently if I would do a video on fussy cutting. So I think I'll save this and do exactly that with this. So that will be my very next video. All right, so, and this, I'll probably cut these off. I'm not going to need those metal ends, and throw those away. There. And then, oh, you're seeing another trick. You take the ribbon and kind of just rub it back and forth like a seesaw on your table, and that will help straighten it out. Takes out a lot of those kinks. Alright, so let's see, how many bows can I get out of this? At least 2. Nice. And I should have been using my cloth scissors for this, silly me. There. All right, so I've got 1 bow, 2 bows. This is nice. Oh, I don't know how you tie bows, but I tie bows like this. I just take it and fold it over, wrap it around my finger, and then pull it up through the hole and tighten it up. And then I just kind of play with the length while I'm pulling it tight, being careful not to pull the bow too tight until I've got the bow the size that I want it to be. There, nice. And it's always best to hold it between your fingers when you snip it. There. All right, and this is actually big enough too that I can use, because this piece you can fold it in half and then you can put the little sticky dots on it, and you can line it behind a layer on your card like this. So you can just leave that little tab. So pretty much any of these, then you can do that with. Well, this one's a little bit too small for that though. But anything about an inch or an inch or bigger, then I'll save for that reason. All right, so there you go. We've got some scrap pieces that we can play with on cards and as layers. We've got some ephemera that needs to be fussy cut. We've got a couple bows and a little tab. We've got a little card. And we've got a card front. So there you go. That's my tip on what to do with a gift bag, how to recycle it. So until we meet again, happy recycling. And if you like this video, please give me a like. Those likes help. Thank you. Bye-bye.